We were fascinated by this morning, and it's about the numbers on your radiator. Let's start there, shall we? Because it's not about the increase in temperature, is it? It's something a bit more specific than that. Tell us a bit more.
It is indeed. So good morning. So I'm going to talk about thermostatic radiator valves, commonly known as TRVs. This is the sort of thing we're talking about. You can hopefully see that quite clearly. It's the sort of thing a lot of people have on their radiators, and you can twist it. There's numbers from 1 to 5 typically. A lot of people don't really understand what they're for or know how to use them properly. So the point of a TRV is to allow you to adjust the temperature on an individual radiator and to do that automatically. So there is a thermostat inside the TRV, that's what the T stands for, and that number, 1 to 5, corresponds to a temperature. So number 1 on your TRV, so number 1 you've got here on your TRV, is about 10 degrees, and that thermostat will sense when it is 10 degrees, and it'll switch on the radiator and allow heat and water to go into it when the temperature drops below 10 degrees. If you increment it on to 2, and you get the idea, 2 and 3, 2 is 15 degrees, 3 is 20 degrees, right up to 5, which is 30 degrees. So you probably don't want your TRV to be set to 5 because 30 degrees is quite hot. But most people should, in a room they want the heating to be on, leave the TRV at around about a 2 or a 3.
2 or a 3. Just remind us what sort of temperature that would be then? 2 or 3?
So 10 is 1, 2 is 15, 3 is 20. So typically in a room you're going to be in, go in and out, maybe like a hallway or a bathroom, you want to be between 15 and 20 degrees.
So in a main room, in what we might call a sitting room or whatever we call them, probably a bit more if you're relying on just the radiator.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And it's also worth saying, so that's a simple TRV that you get in millions of households in the UK. You can also get electronic ones now. So I've got one here. It's got a display on it, as you can probably see.
Yes, we can see it.
And it runs with a battery. Again, just like any other TRV, you literally just screw it in. As long as you've already got some sort of valve there, you can just screw it in. And that one I've just taken from my office just a few minutes ago, and that's set to come on Monday to Friday only, and during the daytimes. And I don't need to change that at all. The temperatures, I set it to 10 degrees when I'm not in there, and at 21 degrees when I am in there, and that happens automatically. And that massively saves because it means I'm not heating up a room when I'm not in it.
And yes.
Dave, we've only got about 30 seconds with you, so we'll just ask you quickly, if people are at home struggling to stay warm, what are the quick and cost-effective things they can do? What's your top tips?
Yeah, draft excluders is always the number one thing. So put your hand around the doors, windows. If there's any cold drafts coming through, just buy some cheap insulation. You can get it on eBay for £5, £10. The sort of squidgy stuff that you can put around your windows. Try thicker curtains if you've got some of those. Try the draft excluders at the bottom of doors, the ones that look like sausage dog sort of things. Number one thing is always try and cut out your drafts.